It sure has been quite a while since we saw this setup in action. And I saw my YouTube analytics page just now. Somehow, it's already been 50 days since the last video. I think it was what was it, upgrading the iTunes setup? Yeah, it's been quite a while since this setup here was actually being used. And I haven't used it to the point where it's actually a little bit dusty. Usually I would clean this before doing anything video related, but this is more of an update sort of thing. I really haven't done anything like this, not that I can think of, like a proper channel update, as the title says, 2024 updates, projects, and more. I don't know if I'm going to change the name of the video, but that's what I have in mind for now. But basically, uh, where have I been? Well, if you've been subscribed to the channel for a long time, then you already know that unfortunately it's kind of common to have big gaps in between uploads. It's not because I don't want to do YouTube, it's just because sometimes I'll have a bunch of free time to make a lot of videos, which is usually when I will be able to at least get one video out a week. And then sometimes there's just something that, something else comes after that, and then after that, and then, life does this thing, it gets in the way, and I just haven't had any time to do anything video related. It's dusty here. I haven't used the iTunes setup in probably a month at this point. I haven't even touched it. I was using it a little bit off camera for some future projects, but everything just got delayed. So I've tried to make this clip a couple of times now. I don't necessarily know if I'm doing this the way I think it's going to happen, but basically, here's the iTunes setup, right? And as you can see, we have an overpowered charger for the iPhone 10 here being plugged directly into the wall because the setup is absolutely terrible. And yeah, it's in desperate need of a refresh, which is ironic considering the last update, or not necessarily update, the last video on the channel was all about upgrading the setup. Now, in that video, if I'm remembering it correctly, I did mention that cable management is something that definitely needs to be done. And the reason why I don't have the fan upgrade plugged into the airport is because, well, it really isn't being used all that much apart from an extender, and it doesn't really need it. But if I'm going to be doing more file transfer server type of things, I'm going to reinstall the fan. It's actually on top of the mini system. But basically what I'm trying to say is that yes, it's messy, but that's the bad news. The good news is that I have since acquired not some, but a ton of stuff that is going to be definitely awesome to have on the channel. Some of those things being upgrades for the setup. Neither do I think the boxes in the back will stay like that, but I think what I'm going to have to do is literally take everything out. So we just have the floor space. I will leave these boxes here because I don't have anything else to put in this area. But this entire area will definitely be refreshed. Obviously the monitor, we've been looking at it for like 2 minutes now, and I was actually using this on another system, which you may or may not see a sneak peek, but I was using that for another system. And the funny part is that I already have the entire video of said system in action recorded, but I simply just haven't had any time to sit down at the Mac Mini and process it all. I'm doing this video first, mainly just to explain where I've been. Is the dust not enough proof? Yeah, it's terrible, but it's not like I don't want to do it, or I've been doing things off camera. I just haven't had any time whatsoever. I do have equipment to put into place and actually make it a cleaner setup. But like I said, everything just eats up time. But hopefully, I'm not going to promise anything, but hopefully I will be able to get back on track. If you just film it as is and you don't edit at all, which I'm probably not going to do much on this video, It's easy to upload, but as soon as you add editing and compression and uploading, everything just adds up over time. I have a backlog of ancient videos. They're honestly not that ancient, but one of them, like I said, involves this monitor, and it was already recorded probably like almost 2 months ago. Basically, whenever the last video about the iTunes setup was made. And I can't wait to get the video out to you guys, but it'll be after this one because obviously this is an update video. I feel like I'm gonna repeat some rambling topics here, but if you guys enjoy the ramble, you know, chill and talk about cool things type of content, I will probably continue this because I'm sure it will take a lot less time to edit. We do have a lot of cool stuff coming up. I don't want to say what that stuff is because honestly, I still can't believe I have some of this stuff. Whatever you'll be seeing on camera is what I'll be experiencing firsthand, basically. I want to fix this setup as soon as possible because we're going to need this setup. We have, like I said, a lot of stuff, and this is going to become kind of like a multi-purpose setup. It's still going to be called the iTunes setup, but it's also going to be for testing, for additional systems, for maybe a PC here and there. So this is as much as I'm going to show you. Those of you who know anything about computers will definitely be able to tell what it is. So like I said, I have a lot of stuff that I actually want to cover on the channel, but I also want to focus on this setup because this setup is not great. Like I said, the cable mess, even though you can't see it, it's probably worse than the iTunes setup. Yeah, so some of these cables aren't even being used. It's very dusty, and everything here is also in need of a refresh. I don't necessarily want to, you know, dismantle everything and then not even be able to edit a video because the Mac Mini isn't set up. So I think I'm gonna kind of leave this area on the back burner. I do have this addition here, which will be featured in depth on the setup video, but this has been one minor improvement that has helped out a lot. You can probably tell what it is, but I'll talk about it whenever I actually do a proper setup video here. I don't know how I'm gonna leave the airport or the Mac Mini. It's gonna take a lot of time, a lot of thinking, a lot of planning. As you saw earlier, the sneak peek is just the beginning. So we have a lot of cool stuff coming up. And it does feel nice to actually have the Mac Mini up and running again because it's probably been a month since I even used it. These ramble type of videos seem pretty fun. If you guys enjoy them too, then I'll be sure to make more of them. Thank you for sticking around with the channel for as long as you have, if you've been enjoying the content. And I really do apologize for all of this trying to upload as much as I can and then just a huge break, and then trying to upload as much as I can and then a huge break. The cycle never ends. We're gonna have to find some sort of compromise because I just want to start uploading again. It's gotten to the point where I don't want to do anything or change anything because I want to record it, but because I don't have time to record it, nothing happens. It's like this setup here, it just keeps getting piled up on top, and whenever there's free space, there's always iPhones taking up said space, and it just could be better. I definitely think that improving this setup and the iTunes setup is going to be a great step in the right direction. Like I said, this vlog type of style content is still relatively new to me. I've seen other people do it, so I kind of know what to say, but at the same time I don't. Thank you for everyone who has stuck around. I'm sure you're probably all used to this weird upload schedule. I really want it to change, but I can't make any guarantees. So the next best thing is to just stay tuned, and I'm going to try and upload whenever I can. So if you enjoyed the video, then consider leaving a thumbs up. And like I said, if you want to make sure you don't actually miss a video, then consider subscribing. It really does help out the channel, and even throughout this long period of inactivity, we are only 20 subscribers away from 1,000. So the channel was made back in 2017, but I didn't upload until like a year or two afterwards. Yeah, it's been a long journey, but it's very exciting. So as always, thank you very much for watching, and Hopefully, I'll see you in the next one.